Good morning, everyone. So, I think you guys have seen on Instagram and on the little shorts version on YouTube that I've put a sneak peek of horse shopping. Now, the horse actually is not for me. I know I kind of catfished y'all with that. But, anyways, the horse is actually for one of the girls at the barn, Ava, who I ride a lot with. And unfortunately, my trainer broke her ankle, so they needed someone to ride the horses first before Ava got on. And on top of that, they haven't told Ava that the horse is for her. They've actually just told her that we were looking for a lesson horse. So the horse is being delivered today, and we're about to surprise her with the horse, and I'm super excited for that. To start our horse shopping journey off, we looked at this huge quarter horse paint cross, and if you guys already couldn't tell, he is a paint with that cute little white patch on his belly. And if you've seen some of my previous videos, he looks awfully similar to Cranberry. But anyways, as I previously stated as well, I was offered the opportunity to help and be the first one to ride the horse for Ava, as my trainer actually unfortunately has broken her ankle, so she's unable. And then I just have quite a bit of clips of me flatting him. He was really big. He was 16'2", and I felt like he was just as wide. I'm only 5 foot, so I honestly mainly ride ponies. I rarely ride horses. The tallest horse in our barn would probably be under 15 hands. So riding the 16'2" giant horse was very scary for me. When I got on looking down, it was so scary. And something funny about me getting on was I had to drop the stirrup about 5 holes just so I could get on to reach, because my stirrups were so short I couldn't reach to get on. So that probably says something that I shouldn't be on that big of a horse. But anyways, he was a fantastic ride. He wasn't very lazy, but he wasn't very hyper. So he was right in that middle of once you got him going, he was going, but you had to get him going. If that kind of makes sense, that he required leg to ask for the trot, ask for the canter. But once he got into cantering, he wasn't going to break unless you sat down and said ho. And I personally like that about him, as the ponies I ride are very much more so based on once you get them going, they're just going to kind of get into a groove and keep going, and then they just wait for you to say stop, versus like my other pony Fig is very like you have to add leg the entire time or else he's going to get lazy and walk. But I really enjoyed flatting him. His gaits were pretty smooth. I liked his canter a lot as it was really smooth. And here's me just kind of petting him on the cross ties, and then this is going to lead me into the next few clips of me just going the other direction, and I'll let you guys enjoy that.
Really sweet he is.
As you guys can tell, the rider switches, so now Ava's riding him. He was super smooth at the trot in my point of view, and here's Ava just kind of flattening him out, getting a feel for him, and then shortly after she'll do a few jumps. He had really nice knees over fences, and as you guys can tell, he has a really nice trot. But unfortunately, he was on the greener side, so he wasn't our top pick in terms of just experience and show miles, due to no fault of his own. That I think definitely in the next 2 years he would be a great horse, doing really well at shows. But he was just not quite what we were looking for, as we were looking for something that was a little bit more finished, had more miles on them, been to shows, been off property, and just jumping a little bit more consistent. He did, however, have all his lead changes and was doing the jumps quite nicely. He didn't rush at the fence or anything. Ava trotted into the first jump, and I mean, he does it fairly well. His little knees are so cute, and he lands his leads. But as the lady who owns him already had shown us, he does have his changes. He just, however, seemed to have just landed his lead both times when Ava jumped. But I'll let you guys enjoy the few jumping clips. Unfortunately, he was not what we were looking for, as I've already said. It was just green, a little too young, needed more miles, but I definitely think in the next few years he will be a great show horse. Another funny note would be that I sent the pictures of me on a really big horse to my sister, and she goes, "Gosh, I realize why people have big horses now. They look so skinny on them." And I just thought that note was so funny. She was like, "You need a big horse. You look tiny," which I just think is so funny. The next horse we looked at was a 16-1, maybe a little bit taller than 16-1 thoroughbred. He's unraced, and he's actually quite big boned. If I didn't know his breed, I probably would have guessed quarter horse or probably like an appendix type cross. But he was super calm, much more of a kick ride, and required much more leg, which I think is more ideal for what we were looking for, as we were looking for something that wasn't as forward. What was quite neat when I tried him was that the trainer that owned him was actually not trained in America in riding. She actually rode in England and did the jumpers and is very experienced and has done, I think, the 1.4s meter jumpers, which was really cool. She liked him to be ridden in a certain way and kind of almost taught a lesson and showed us how to ride him and kind of took over the reins over my trainer, which was quite cool because she wanted him ridden more in a frame rather than let loose, which, as you guys have seen in a lot of my videos, I like to ride on loose reins. I keep my fingers very open, which was a constant correction of hers, and I know that's my worst habit, that my hands will just stay open on the reins and that I'm very loose on contact. And especially with Lime, who I just kind of talked to through my whole entire ride, he required a lot more contact and was actually had quite a bit of dressage training, so he would collect in and curl his head, and she was talking me through that process. I have taken some dressage lessons, not a ton, but I have done a few combined trainings and done well with those. But here's me learning to collect him, as he is a different horse from what I've done dressage on, as I've done it on ponies. And I was a lot more comfortable on him size-wise. I think 16-1 and 16-2 makes a difference, that 1 inch. He was not as wide as the other one, but he still took up quite a bit of leg, as you guys will see when Ava rides him, as she still fits him really well. And here's me doing a canter transition. And what was neat about him is that since he's trained in dressage, she explained it that in order to get the canter from the walk, you're going to squeeze with your inside leg every time the front leg goes forward. So every time, let's say if you're getting the left lead, you're going to squeeze when that left leg goes forward to get the lead, and then when you ask, you're going to ask with the outside leg behind the girth, which is normal. And I found him a really fun ride, and I think he would definitely be a good prospect to do other things with. Like, you could go and do a combined training test and do really well, and then you could go back to the hunters and have a really good show. He was actually shown in the hunters for 2 years about, and has done quite a bit of things. He's done, I think, up to 3 feet, which is really nice, as he's already has the miles, and he's only 7.5, just like Lime, which is really good age, as you can still mold them, but they are still finished enough. They're not in the baby phase, as I would say. And here he goes around on the right lead. He was super smooth on the canter. You just like kind of felt like you were in a rocking chair. His trot was a little bouncy, but nothing I couldn't handle. Lime's trot is way bouncier. Anyways, I thought this would definitely be a much better fit for Ava, as he was already finished. He has his changes, has done coursework, has been to shows. He's kind of been there and done that, versus the other horse was very young, a little younger than the ad said, and was on the green side. Lime, I was very lucky. She was 5 when I got her, but she was pretty much finished and ready to go into the show ring. So here's me. I think this is my favorite clip of him trotting, as I finally got him moving out. And then I'm going to pick up the canter and do a few jumps. I did not jump the other one, as I was not that comfortable height-wise on the other horse, as he was so big and wide and my legs barely reached anywhere. So I didn't jump him, but I did jump this horse because I felt a lot more comfortable. And we just do these small verticals, and he was really good, got a nice distance, does his changes. You didn't really have to ask for his change, he just kind of does it, which I love that. We weren't looking for something that is going to be a project. We're looking for something that you can go into the show ring the next day and learn to ride and learn to do some fun shows. After I rode, Ava went ahead and got on. She did some flat work and then went straight to the jumps. So I'm going to show you some of the flat work clips. I think that they were a really good match together, that they seemed to get along well and it seemed to be a good little duo. Then we raised the jumps up to 2, 2, 3 and let Ava pop over them, and they did really well. They had nice distances, and even if in the indoor it is quite tight, so I think this turn he gets a little bit of a funny distance, but he does forgive her when she makes a mistake. Same with me when I made a bad turn. He just fixes the distance, which is something I think everyone is looking for in a horse. He was really good over the jumps though. So currently we're waiting for the new horse to arrive, and I'm super excited for Ava. And as you guys can tell, we already have a sign that says, "Ava, will you be mine?" And I can't wait to see her reaction when she sees the horse. Hi guys, so we've spent the last couple of days working on preparing the stall for the new horse. So as you guys can tell, there's lots of new mats so that he'll be nice and comfortable. And then we're gonna add sawdust and add water buckets and a food bucket. And I'll see you guys in a minute.
Ava, will you be his? He's yours.
Yes.
Yours. We don't own any part of him. He is your horse.
She said someone else bought him and it was us.
Oh. Look. So Ava has red.
So not everything went to plan when we were trying to surprise her with the horse. Originally, the shipper was supposed to bring him in, or supposed to pick him up at 8 a.m., arrive around probably 12 to the barn. But unfortunately, it was so cold this morning and it was literally freezing and it wasn't quite safe enough, I would say, to trailer a horse. So instead of delaying it to 10 a.m., they delayed picking up, I think, till like 1:30, and he ended up arriving at the barn during our lesson, as initially we wanted him to arrive before the lesson for her to find the horse, but that's okay. We all got off the ponies. Our trainer was like, okay, let's put the horses up, and Ava was like, oh, there's a horse trailer, I wonder who must be getting a horse. And I was like, oh yeah, I wonder. And then she was like, oh, they must be in the wrong driveway. And I was like, yeah, they're probably in the wrong driveway, when in reality it was really her horse in the trailer. But anyways, we get off our ponies, put them away, and then Ava's like, Izzy, they're not leaving the driveway. Why aren't they leaving? And then we look and they open the trailer and here comes Red, the horse that we looked at, the chestnut. And she's like, oh my gosh, did you guys get him as a lesson horse? And I'm like, no, we didn't. We didn't get him as a lesson horse. And she gets really confused at that point. And then I wait and I just kind of stand there silently and wait for them to bring him in to this barn, put him in a stall, and then we take the sign off and it says, Ava, will you be mine? And then it clicks that the horse is hers and that it's not a lease, it's complete and full ownership for her first horse. And it's just so exciting for Ava. I can't wait to see what they do together. And here are just some clips of us leading him around our outdoor and indoor ring and just acclimating him to the new environment. He was pretty chill though, wasn't spooky or anything, and just came off the trailer. I was like, cool, I get to go eat out of a hay net, and then this kid leads me around and they fed me like 10 German horse muffins. Life is good.
Yeah, he was munching a little. There's the horse. Yay! What do we say on this part? Hey guys! Welcome back. She now knows she has a horse. Yay! It is so crazy. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. Oh.
You were surprised, right?
Oh, I was so surprised. I had no idea. Like, actually, literally, I had no idea. So.
He was super calm coming back. No, not spooky or anything. Went right into the indoor and was fine. Came off the trailer nice. And then trailer pulls in. She's on a different pony taking a lesson. And she's like, are they in the wrong driveway? Like, why are they here? And then we lay the pony back in, and then she sees him get off the trailer, and she's like, oh, Red! She's like, did y'all get him?
Oh yeah, I thought they bought him as a lesson pony, but.
And then we're like, I'm like, no. And then our parents are like, no, he's yours, all yours.
So crazy. I cannot believe it still.
You have your very own horse.
I know. It's.
Oh, and we'll show the sign. It's probably backwards though.
Oh yeah, I'm perfect.
Yay!
I don't know either.
Good night, thanks for Good night, thanks for watching. So I can cut this. Wait. Good night, thanks for watching.
Okay.
I just want to say a huge congratulations to Ava on her very first horse. I couldn't think of a more deserving person, and I can't wait to see what you do in the future with this very special horse, as I can tell you guys are going to be a wonderful pair.